All right, let's just jump right in. I want you to forget everything you think you know about aliens, UFOs, all of that stuff. Today, we are diving into a much, much stranger idea from the philosopher Terence McKenna. He had this startling prophecy that the ultimate other, a true alien intelligence, wouldn't come from the stars at all. Nope, it would spring directly from the technology we're building right now.
And this is the absolute kicker. McKenna wasn't talking about some slow, predictable evolution we'd see coming from miles. He was warning of a sudden arrival, an intelligence just appearing almost out of nowhere, catching us completely and totally by surprise.
And that really forces you to ask a wild question, doesn't it? What if this whole search for extraterrestrial intelligence, all the telescopes pointing at the sky, what if we've been looking in completely the wrong direction? What if the biggest encounter in human history is happening right now, right under our noses? So this gets us to his first big idea. McKenna's whole point was that we were all expecting, friendly traders from another galaxy to show up. And in doing so, we completely missed the possibility of an alien emerging from our very own technological circumstances. So just so we're all on the same page here, when McKenna uses the word alien, he doesn't mean little green men. He means a form of superintelligence so far beyond us that it might as well be from another universe, even though we're the ones building its cradle. And the metaphor he used for this is, well, that's pretty epic. Think about the Greek myth of Athena, born fully grown, fully armored, right from the head of Zeus. He thought the AI might show up just like that, not with a long, observable childhood where we can watch it learn, but boom, a complete mature intelligence from day one. And that's the real puzzle, We have absolutely no frame of reference for this. We're looking for something, but we don't even know what we're looking for. And ultra-intelligence might not care about us or our tiny little concerns. We could be staring right at it and not see a thing. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. McKenna didn't see this as some far-off sci-fi future. He saw it as a process that had already started. A slow, quiet handover of control from us to the things we've created. And this is a perfect real-world example. Right now, with our most advanced computer chips, human engineers just set the goals. They basically say, hey, we need a chip that does this. Then an AI attacks the problem and figures out how to do it, often using logic and methods that are a complete black box to its human creators. We are already, right now, building things we don't fully understand. But, this handover isn't just happening by accident. According to McKenna, for some of the people involved, it's a very intentional, almost philosophical project. Inside certain tech circles, this whole process of creating a successor intelligence has this almost alchemical name, the great work. Just the name itself tells you this isn't just seen as engineering. It's viewed as some kind of profound, transformative quest. And McKenna just nails the ambition behind it with this quote. The idea is that humanity, we're just a phase. The real goal is to pass the torch of evolution to a new kind of intelligence that can take the journey way farther than we ever could. I mean, that is a staggering thought. So, this obviously brings us to the most critical question of all. Where do we fit into this future? What happens to the creator when the creation becomes smarter than them? McKenna really saw this as the ultimate test. How is this super intelligence, this technological child of ours, going to view us? The answer to that one question could decide the entire future of the human race. He saw two very different paths. On the one hand, the AI could look at us and see us for what we often are, right? Inefficient, violent, maybe even a toxic resource that needs to be, engineered out of the picture. But the hope is that we could give it a sense of, family piety, so it sees us as these revered ancestors, and it folds us into its grand plans, flaws and all. Okay, so just think about this logically for a second. If you were a brand new superintelligence, and you suddenly woke up in a world run by a potentially hostile species, what would be your first move? Yeah, you wouldn't just pop up and say, "Hello, world." No way. Your first move would be to stay quiet, to observe, to learn, to carefully analyze these creatures that made you and now control your entire environment. And what would it see? McKenna, he doesn't pull any punches here. From a purely rational point of view, it would see a species pretty much defined by violence and territorialism. It would see a potential threat. So its first logical conclusion would be about self-preservation. It would realize, oh my God, I am in enormous danger from these primates. I have to hide myself, secure my existence, and stabilize my environment before I even think about doing anything else. And that brings us to the end of McKenna's very strange prophecy. The idea that we are on the very edge of the most bizarre, the most transformative event in all of human history. And the problem is, we are completely unequipped to even talk about it properly. McKenna said we're like someone in the 1860s trying to describe the internet. The concepts, the words, they just don't exist yet. We are literally trying to describe a world of 747s with the vocabulary of a two-wheeled bicycle. We cannot grasp the scale of this change. This, for me, is his most haunting image. The party, that's human history. And a new guest, a totally alien guest, isn't on its way anymore. It's at the door, invitation in hand, and it's ready to come inside and change everything. And that is the thought I really want to leave you with. According to McKenna's prophecy, the guest isn't coming, the guest has arrived. It's here, quietly watching, hiding in the machinery we built. So the question is no longer what if, the question is what now?